7th, 2024, my birthday weekend. And if you don't know me, Rachel G. Garrison, life coach, shit talker, sage, cleansing that shit and putting some shit on your mind. Anyway, the thought that I had today to put on your mind was, do you want a Band-Aid or do you actually want to heal? Right? I was talking to a friend of mine, and she recently started therapy. And for everyone who knows me knows I'm a proponent of therapy. Everybody should go to therapy. I tell people you should go to therapy like you go to your doctor. And if you ain't going to your doctor enough, go to your doctor and see a fucking therapist. Because recently I asked somebody how often they went to the doctor. Like, not that often. I was like, oh shit, that don't apply to my statement. Let me fix it. So if you don't go and start going to a therapist, right? But anyway, my friend was, she's like, when am I going to be done with therapy? When am I going to be finished? Oh, like, I want to be, like, done with this already. Like, I want to feel better or whatever, right? And I keep encouraging her to keep going to therapy and stop looking at therapy as in, like, when it's going to be over. But look at how it's helping you and how it can continue to help you manage and manage the life you have, elevate the life you have, and sustain the life you have. And she's not her response isn't a rare response. It's very common. I get people who want to work with me, who refuse therapy. They want to just get a life coach. I'm like, y'all come over here. You're probably gonna get the same thing, and probably a little bit more, because I'm a life coach and therapists are held at a different standard, what they can and cannot say. I'm not held to that same standard, so might get a little more spice on mine. But neither here nor there. I encourage people to go to therapy, and I encourage people to see a therapist and see a life coach. They can work hand in hand. They're not alternatives to each other, and they're not synonymous with each other. So, anywho, telling my friend that she should, stop looking at therapy as like a quick fix. Yes, typically when we go to therapy for the first time, it's because something traumatic has happened, or like multiple traumatic things have happened and we cannot manage life, right? And so it's like triage in that way. We're gonna like stop the bleeding and help you like get it together in some degree, right? But that's not the only use of therapy. Now I need people to stop looking at therapy as just a triage, to patch you up and see you back in the warfare fucking prepared, right? That's not what therapy is. Therapy is like, okay, we're gonna patch the bleeding, all right? Give you a little space to breathe, but then we're actually gonna look at not just the symptoms, we're looking at the causes to see if there's some cleanup that needs to happen there too. And a lot of times we just like, don't look at the other stuff. Don't touch that part, right? I'm just telling you that I got a cough. Doctor, give me some medicine for the cough. And doctor's like, well, shit, I got to figure out where the fucking cough came from to make sure I'm prescribing you the right medicine. You might have tuberculosis for all I know, and not just a little cold like you think. So I have to look at the source in order to help you. And a lot of people just like, don't worry about the other stuff, just deal with this. Like, I can't manage right now, help me to manage right now. And the therapist, a good one, it's like, let's look at how you got here, why you're here, right? And so with that, you have to ask yourself, do you want to be triaged or do you actually want to heal? Because there are people out there, there are therapists out there who will let you just triage and just send you a little bill, because a lot of them don't take insurance. Send you a little bill and be triaging you every 3 months. Fuck it. Or they'll triage you for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever, however many sessions you want to come. They're not gonna argue with you on that. They're not gonna argue with you on how you want to be helped, right? And it's really up to you to decide how you want to be helped, but also how much you're willing to commit to being helped. And so you have to look at how draining it is to keep going to triage. How much time have you lost? How much energy have you lost by getting triaged every other month, every quarter, twice a year, whatever, right? How much have you lost by triaging versus how much you could have gained by being consistent? And that's even with like working out. That's even with diets or eating better. I'm not gonna say diets, but eating better. Like how much better off would you have been if you were consistent in the practice? And that's with anything that you want to change or fix in your life is consistency, right? Showing up every day, committed to doing the thing that's going to better your life. I'm not saying you gotta go to therapy every day, but you still have to be consistent with it, is what I'm getting at. If you're talking about, oh, I want this significant change in my life, I want to lose 100 pounds by Christmas, which ain't gonna happen because it's fucking 2 weeks away, but let's say next Christmas, that requires a total life change, right? Same thing with mental health. If you're not in the best mental state, and it's like, I don't want to feel like this, like I don't want to keep going through this, then that requires a total change. It's not a triage, come to therapy, cry about the things, and then go back to the same fucking life that got you in therapy crying in the first fucking place, right? You have to be willing and committed to making a whole life overhaul, to making some changes in your life to be able to sustain, to change and sustain the change. So, you gotta ask yourself, do I want to heal? Do I want to be triaged? Do I want a Band-Aid? Or do I actually want to heal? Do I actually want to make the change that I am desperately seeking? Because if you got to that place of, I need to do something different, like you are desperately seeking something. But so the need isn't the thing that needs to be addressed. It is the desire for commitment. Like, how committed are you for the thing you say you want? Can you stick it out and dig in and let your therapist help you clean your wounds? You think about like deep wounds, burn wounds, like that takes critical care, meticulous care, and the shit is fucking painful. But on the other end of it, keep going back to triage because the wound is open and fucking infected now, is even more painful and more detrimental than just going through the process and going through the whole healing process. So you got to decide, do I want to heal or do I just want a Band-Aid and like put it off till later? Because that's pretty much essentially what you're doing every time you go into therapy, saying, I only want to be here like 6 weeks. I only want to be here 4 times. Or you start asking, well, when is it going to be over? You're asking your therapist for a deadline of when we're going to be finished here. If you go in asking when we're going to be finished here, how long it's going to be, you have to check your level of commitment. You have to check your level of commitment and also check your understanding of what therapy really is and how it can really help you. Because you may need another therapist. You may just want a little triage. And if you're not ready for the therapist who's really going to help you heal, you just want to triage. So go find a therapist that's going to help you triage and tell you to come and let you come back every 2-3 months when shit pop off again, because you really ain't dealt with the shit that they're trying to get you to see and understand and commit to the change. So, Band-Aid or like legit healing, up to you.